What's going on, YouTube? It is Lauren with the TMF podcast, TMF Apparel USA. Today is Wednesday, September 22nd. And I am joined today with Leonard Criss from Big Boy Prints. He is right here joining the podcast. He has been following one of my channels here for a minute, and we've been shooting the shit, and I've actually gotten some of his inks, and we've talked printing and apparel and DTF and other stuff. So I felt like we should have him on the show, and let's see what it's all about, because in this game we gotta kind of feed off each other, man. We gotta learn from one another, we gotta grow with one another, and we need to help build each other's brand and business and work together. We should not be in an industry where you are constantly, I would say, competing to shut down somebody else that's next to you. There's like 8 billion people on earth. Look, there's enough people for everyone to get a piece of this pie. We don't need to do that. So without further ado, Leonard, nice to see you. Glad
How you
could
doing?
make it.
How you doing?
We're doing good, buddy. I'm glad that you're here and we're making it happen. And I want to know all things Big Boy Prints. I want to know what's going on, how you got started with Big Boy Prints, why you even decided to jump into this bullshit we call DTF, and just I want to learn a little more about it. Let's hear about it, because you were on my channel, kept saying Big Boy inks don't clog, Big Boy inks this. Boy, let me tell you something. If there's one thing you are good at, it's putting your name in my chat. And look where you at. You're right here, and I'm going to use your inks because, man, let me tell you, they worked really well. And I've used a lot of inks, and I've had a lot of fucking printer problems. So I'm looking forward to not having any more of those. So tell us how it got started.
Well, I started in the t-shirt game probably about a year ago, and just like anybody, I started out with vinyl. I learned real quick I didn't want to do vinyl because that was like work. So the next best thing was I found that would be sublimation, and sublimation was cool. You're limited in that box of polyester, or you have to use something that will cost extra money, like a cotton sub or something like that, which that took away from profit. And me, I don't really like the shirt too much. Not on that end, on the t-shirt, because I feel like there's not really a lot of profit in it. I come from the trucking game. So before I did this, I had my own trucks, but I was ready to get out the road. So it was something that I wanted to do. And, so I guess the problem with me came with sublimation is, that polyester is just everybody, a lot of people that want polyester, and then you have to have it on white. So I had to really quit selling shirts because I couldn't give people what they wanted, what they needed. It was pretty much like a problem. So I'm the type of person I want to give people exactly what they want. And if you can't give the people what they want, then, of course they're going to go somewhere else. So I was about to get me, like, I was trying to find, like, I think it's the Cameo, the 24-inch. I was going to buy that Cameo, man. I was going to get me some, like, dark transfer paper, maybe like a 17-inch.
Right.
Because I'm the big boy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you got big, you have big boy images, you know what I mean? So, like, there's not a lot of people making stuff for big people. Like me, I wear 5X. And that 13 by 19 is kind of small. So, I wanted something big because there's a lot of big people out there, 4X, 5X, even 3X, that you can't find a lot of, nice things. It seems like it goes to about 2X and it just stops, and then it's just dull or something. So, but when I came into DTF, I was like, it's going to be a game changer. I had a friend telling me about it. And I just, you do your homework, you do your research. I got me a 3880, and man, I printed it, and it was amazing, So I was like, man, this is gonna change the game right here,
Yeah.
So I was like, shoot. Yeah, I was like, man, we need to invest in this. You know what I'm saying? Because once people see this and find out about this, man, it's gonna be over. I mean,
It's
it's
funny.
crazy.
It's funny that you say that that's how you started because it's the same journey. I literally the exact same journey that I had with one small difference, and that is I started off doing HTV. Now I had done HTV years before because when I was in the paint business, I used vinyl plotter to cut stencils for airbrushing. If you don't know this about me, I am a phenomenal airbrush artist. I can fucking dude, I could show you some shit that you'd be like, that's dope as fuck. But I haven't airbrushed in a while, but I used it to cut just a general stencil, and then I airbrushed some crazy ass murals and stuff on motorcycles and portraits and all that crazy shit. But then I used it, and not too far from me is Perfect Press HTV, which sells a load of HTV vinyl. And I started making my own shirts for my shop with HTV because I already had the plotter. And for me, that was a no-brainer. So fast forward to last year, the pandemic hits, my business, I'm like, I don't know if people are going to buy this dumb shit anymore. So I went and said, I'm gonna make some t-shirts. And so I started with vinyl, and my designs were, they were pretty simplistic with vinyl because, weeding sucks. Oh, and I had a friend of mine, he was like, dude, I want to get like 50 or 100 shirts, and it was these little letters, and I'm like, I had my kids, no lie, my freaking 12-year-old and my 7-year-old in the shop weeding freaking letters, man. I'm paying them like, like, dude, I get like $5 to weed like 1,000 freaking letters. So we did that, and I did that for a little while, and on my Etsy store, I was selling some pretty basic stuff that was really, for me, it was inspired by David Goggins, Jocko Willink. It was all motivational, workout, tough motherfucker apparel. And I made it for myself mainly because my girlfriend at the time, she always had these cool gym shirts with all these funny sayings on them. And the dudes have nothing. We got nothing. We got a plain ass tank top. So I made some, and I was like, all right, well, this is kind of cool. I want to learn how to make like a cool design. So at Perfect Press, they got they got some sublimation printers, and they've got a bunch of stuff on the wall. And I'm like, all right, let me get into that. So I start researching. I find you can buy an Epson like 7710 for $150. You can convert it for about $80. And I'm printing 13 by 19 pieces or whatever they were. They were good size. But then, like you said, only on polyester, white polyester. And you're like, well, this kind of blows. Not only is it hard to get your hands on, it's expensive. The shirts are freaking $5-6 and up. And you're like, okay. And not everyone wants to wear polyester, man. So that was kind of a nightmare. So I tried doing the paper. I tried doing the contour cut designs. We printed on all the different, it goes to cotton. Yeah, sure. Let me tell you, it goes to cotton for about 6 minutes. And then it washes out. It looks like crap. And then, even worse, you stick it in the freaking silhouette to contour cut it, and then it like slightly off. And you're like, well, there's $2 out the door. So that was kind of my nightmare. So I started looking into like, how do you get an image like on a shirt? And so I started seeing some DTG stuff. I didn't know anything about it. And an Omni print stuck out and is the most let's put it this way, it was probably the most well-marketed product out there for sure. I talked to people at Rico, talked to people at Omni. I liked the refillable bottles on the Omni. I liked all of the I don't know, I'd say the features. It looked well made. So I ordered this thing, I financed the shit out of it. I order it. It was, like 5 weeks to get there. I got orders. I've already designed cool stuff I want to print. The orders coming in. And when it got there, boy, I set that bad boy up. I didn't even call them. I ain't got time for that. I need to print, boy. So, right? I got to print some shirts. So I set it up, and I watched their videos, and I figure out how to get how to get ink in it. And I had that thing printing, no lie. Fucking straight up printing shirts before I ever talked to a tech. And so when I had my tech call, he was like, yeah, that's what I do. And I was like playing stupid. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll figure this out. And it's printing great. And it did, man. It printed great for months, bro, months. And then I didn't realize until it was too late that, well, my head was a little bit clogged up and it was starting to go kind of deteriorate. I hit a wall in November of 2020. Where I had, no lie, the most sales I've ever had between Etsy and Amazon. and I had, I mean, probably $4,000 worth of t-shirt sales in about a
Oh
span of
wow.
about 8 days. It was insane. And my printer dies, print head dead, and I
Ooh.
had no way to print them. Now, if you sell on Amazon, they don't play games, boy. Amazon is like, if you don't ship it, if it's not fulfilled, if you have 1% or higher defect rate, they will shut you down. So I was,
Oh wow.
yeah, Omni was, it was the day before Thanksgiving. My printer died. And I was like, they're not,
Oh,
this be nobody around, right? So I went on Facebook and Craigslist and I found this dude selling this DTG printer. He was asking like 5 grand for it. And I said, let me, yeah, I know. We switched back and forth there. Uh, so, yeah, they're like, we can't see him. He's still here. Don't worry. He's here. I switched back and forth. So, I hit this guy up. He had this printer and he, he didn't know how to use it. He bought it, imported it from China. He had printed only white stuff. He couldn't figure out how to print white ink. I go down there, the thing's like brand new. He's a nice dude. He had no idea how to use it. He had big hopes and dreams, but he's like, I just can't figure it out. So I paid him 4,500 cash, and I took it back, and it was a learning curve, man. There was no support. It was like I had acro rip nightmare. And then I just went and
oh,
I got the thing pressed, still print it today. It's the stuff that I buy, a 3880 base printer. And believe me, I have had my share of issues. And I'll be honest, some of them are self-induced. you know, For real, some of them I was like, yeah, I should probably just flush this print head and shove as much pressure as soon as it takes, blow a print head out and plug it in. I mean, dude, I've had problems, but I've learned the ways. It's a big learning curve. So that being said, it's funny to me that we have kind of almost the identical journey, except you just kind of went through DTF instead of the DTG world.
yeah. Well, DTF was a little too. I didn't. I would guess I was so like early in the business. I was trying to find another way before I spent five, six, $7,000. So I gotta commend you and give you your props because I was looking at that. I was like, baby wasn't trying to hear that. She was like, oh no, what you want? What you want? You want to do what? With how much money? Oh Lord, no, 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 no. So that was gonna be the uncomfortable talk. You know what I'm saying? That I didn't want to have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the best thing for me to do was to find a better way.
Yeah. I YOLO'd it, man. I was like $18,000 bet. So, yeah,
Ooh.
Omniprint, that FreeJet TX, 18 Gs.
Oh wow.
But you break it
Uh
down and you go, well, I need to print, how many shirts a month can I print to pay for this printer and and realistically I did last year about 38,000 in apparel. So
wow.
it wasn't bad. And that's part-time. That's basically Etsy, Amazon, some a couple local people.
That's good right there.
It
God, I
wasn't
wish I
bad.
could get my Etsy account like that.
Dude, it takes a minute. And I have over 200 and something products, and most of them don't sell, but sometimes they do, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I mean, oh Lord, I'd be hearing the prices. Shit, you got me sweating over it. You think I'm about to grab me a look? What you like 18? What 18,000? That's like a
18,000 bucks.
shoot. That's like a Cadillac for you know
I
what I'm saying?
own
I'm
a
thinking about eight.
Cadillac, and the payoff is less than that printer.
What I'm saying? You talk about that type of man, boy?
I
You know
got a
how
Cadillac freaking SUV, man. Payoff's 14,000.
man? Listen, you gonna have me down at the soup line. I'm gonna be out there giving
Nah,
blood.
that's not how we go. Look, man, the
Man,
entrepreneur spirit is you jump off the cliff and you build the parachute on the way down. That's the only way to do it.
you right about that. Now one thing I guess I done jumped off that cliff a couple times, and maybe sit over there look in the corner like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's hey, believe me, I know all about it. I mean, coming from the industry that I was in, my motorcycle business, I did anywhere between when I started off, maybe 100, grand revenue a year up to a peak of almost a half a million a year. So for me, the revenue, I saw the end game. Like, you know what? I'm like, we can do this. And then you see guys like T-Shirt Millionaire. You follow those dudes on YouTube. I even think they're local to me. I need to reach out to that dude because I saw somewhere a PO box that was Lawrenceville, which is like 20 minutes from here.
Yeah.
But you know, those guys, that dude had one shirt that made him $1 million. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's a crazy story. He's got on YouTube. It's T-shirt millionaires. He did a Black Father's Day shirt that one year he sold something like a couple $100,000 worth of this one shirt in like 2 weeks online. Is
Wow.
it's a pretty insane story. But they do a lot of he's got a lot of content revolving around marketing, specifically Facebook ads, and how to target your audience correctly. So they're out there.
That's one thing I was kind of curious about. I've never did the ads, but I think like my thing is what I do. I'm in these groups and on Facebook, and I think I spend my time. I give my time to the people. I give my people, my phone number. They can ask me. They can hit me. In the inbox. And one thing I believe in the people. You know what I'm saying? If you take care of the people gonna take care of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I keep
I mean, I
because
follow you on that. I mean, it's but when you're in the business of selling products, you gotta put it in front of a million people.
and you know what? And that's why I can't do it by myself. Like I have a lot of people that we work with, you know what I'm saying, that help me, they help me push, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Biz Unit Craftable Things, people who, you know, I built like a core audience, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta stay loyal to those core people because that's who gonna rock with you with ain't nobody else gonna rock with you. And we gotta work together, we gotta show love. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't show love, like might be down, I need somebody to have my back. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody to go lift me up. So that's why when I come, I bring my people with me. You know what I'm saying? I want my people. Like if you gonna come, if you want to work and you want to get to this money, then come on, jump on my back. You know what I'm saying? Or let me jump on your back. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You gotta carry the load because I might be weak. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta, you know what I'm saying, be strong and let me know. You know what I'm saying? And then we gotta hold each other accountable. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to do it like a family. You know what I mean? I can't do it by myself. I don't even want to try to do it by myself. And like I said, I had this saying, if I'm in a Bentley, I don't want my people, everybody else in Lex. We all gonna ride Bentleys. You know what I'm saying? We all gonna shine. That's the
You
that's
got that Tyson Mayweather mentality. Everyone's got money, you know.
yeah. It's enough for everybody.
There's
I
plenty
mean,
of it out there. There's plenty of people out there. Man, let me tell you, we were talking about t-shirt prices the other day, me and you. I went to like 2 weeks ago downtown Atlanta on the Beltline, and there was a little village. It was called Vintage something set up t-shirts, and there was a bunch of people that had clothing racks. Had there a ton of t-shirts, all vintage, bro. The prices this dude had on these freaking tour ass t-shirts
crazy.
blew my head off. My son was
Yeah.
like, "How much is this?" I swear, I swear to you, there was a dude right behind, and I had to double take. I was like, he did not just say that. So nice couple here. He had a some kind of NASCAR shirt on, like a full print NASCAR shirt, and so there was another one that he wanted. It was hanging up, and he's holding on to it, man. He was holding on to it like come at me and get this t-shirt off me, kind of holding on to it, waiting for the guy to
Yeah.
come back. And the dude comes over, hey, you into NASCAR? Clearly, dude's wearing a freaking full blooded NASCAR. And he said, yeah. And he said, I really like this one. And he goes, oh yeah. And I want to say that, swear to you, I want to say he told that dude that $200 damn t-shirt. I'm pretty
Oh
sure he said
wow.
I got two on that. And I'm like, is that thing to say 200? Let me tell you something. That shirt was hanging back up
Money.
in that fucking tent. But but I don't know, man. He contemplated it. Maybe he went back and got it. I don't know, man. That's pretty crazy.
Can we imagine? I mean, and what I don't understand, like, you know, us crafters is like the first thing we want to do is we want to I think some crafters, especially starters, we want to undervalue ourselves.
Right.
It's funny how we can go get, you can do the same shirt as these people doing, but we'll charge 25, $30 when they at 70, 80, $80. And then we doing the same thing. We just as talented as everybody else, if not more talented, because we got to work even harder. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
got big companies that's going, advertise. They got unlimited budget. So you know, and I think like a lot of these groups, a lot of stuff I see, it's crazy. And then what really kills me is how you go to some of these. Oh, you go to the mall and some of these people they doing shirts and they got like 3G opaque paper and they don't even cut it. They just slap it right on there. You know what I mean? You be like, man, that's the
Yeah.
audacity.
Come at
Yeah,
him.
they had on. I'll be like, and I'm like, y'all gonna pay for that? I'm like, can I go get my equipment? Can I set up a booth? How much is rent? And they be
Right.
having long lines.
Right. No, you're right. You're right. I had a request here to see both of us at the same time, so I'm just gonna swap this up for them. And I'll appease the crowd a little bit. I ain't mad at that. We'll make it happen. So here we go. There you go. Now we got both of us
There we
there,
go.
and I
Oh
just
my
have to.
people.
I just got to make it fun because it doesn't look fun to me. I got to put all my graphics on there, man. Look, we got to have Big Boy down here. We'll put you down there,
Yeah.
and then we'll throw me up on that thing too.
Yeah,
Because I've got all the talent. It's okay.
they love the big boy. They gonna. I wish I would have had a. I'd be so busy. I just barely got opportunity to put the flyer out, but they
It's all
gonna.
good.
They love me though.
We're gonna
I'm
shrink that
telling you, they
bad
gonna
boy
come.
down.
We
Yeah,
gotta. We,
there we go. So now we got some graphics up for both of us. There we go. I like it. So that's funny. I see the guys in the mall and they have full color prints on shirts, and I'm like, how are they doing that? Because I never watch them. And my friend had a little like TikTok shirt made. The dude just did it in vinyl, like right in front of us. It was like $25 in vinyl, and I was like, bro, like for like hardly anything. It was kind of a joke to me. But I'm like, why don't they have a DTG printer? Maybe they are doing some DTF stuff. DTF was such it eluded me completely, like throughout this entire thing until about 2 or 3 months ago. And I don't even remember how I even stumbled. Maybe it was on like the DTG board where someone was like, you should look into it, or I saw it on YouTube. I don't even remember. And I was like, And then they go, oh, well, you can't use that ink. You got to switch all your inks. I'm like, fucking sound right. But they want to sell you something. And my logical brain, my engineering side of my brain's like, that ain't that different. No, there's no way it's that different. I do not believe you. And I was printing that shit with DuPont, with Image Armor, with Kodak. I didn't give a shit, man. It looked fine. I will say that some inks didn't like the certain papers. They didn't transfer as well. Anthony Creek's ink definitely lost some vibrancy on the white when I pressed it. And that could have been just, too hot, not cured enough, or whatever the case may be. But I commend people who run straight up Epson printers for DTF, like just freeballing it out there, man. Because the thing is hard to work on, son. It's hard to get inside them suckers. And I take my printer apart all the damn time, but it's right there. Like I can get to everything. I can take the whole thing apart in 10 minutes. Versus I've taken apart some 3880s, some 3800s, some R2400s, L1800s, where I've gutted them down to nothing. And I'm like, there is zero chance that's going back together.
Yo, well, yeah, a Megatron. That's my 3880. She stayed there. This nigga is like just like at the house. You know what I'm saying, baby? Like t-shirt and panties on. That's it. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. Let me stop. But for real though, yeah, you gotta be, man. Yo, what you did all that stuff on, especially in the summertime. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? Take all them covers and all that stuff out.
Yeah.
But really, I don't have that much maintenance. I think a lot of stuff is just when something new when it first come out, they say, oh, you should do this, oh, you should do that. And that I think that's more as a precaution, but I mean,
I'm gonna say this: wet capping is a double-edged sword. That's how I feel about it. I feel like when you wet cap, so when you do that, your print head is sitting in cleaning fluid, which keeps it wet. However, the fluid doesn't just stay below the print head. It goes into the print head, into that channel. And now, have you seen my videos of taking a print head completely apart? Because I have taken them completely apart. Like,
I think I think you might have made a video where like did you make a video where you took the print head apart and you like wasn't even in the video? You just like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I did one where I showed it, so I took them apart because after you burn up like 5 or 6 print heads, you're like, what is inside here that is so pissed off? I must find it. So I was like, it's already dead. I'm gonna just start tearing it apart to find out where's the ink going? Why is this such a problem? So I took the bottom plate off, and I'm like, the holes are tiny, but I can see through them. And then the ink channels, where it's going, how is it getting moisture in it? How is it getting wet? Where is the ink going? Like, why? First and second, why can no one fix it? Why can no one fix the freaking print head? I don't get it. Someone made it. Someone can fix it. But there's nobody out there. So I was like, well, how do you do it? I'm like, man, you can glue it back together. I can clean this. I can take the plate off. That plate comes right off. Let me tell you something. That little bottom, little bronze looking, whether it's chrome or polished, whatever, you can pop that sucker right off with a razor blade. Put it back on. Haven't risked it, but it comes off. And underneath it is just a little ink channel where the ink sits, and it just pressurizes it through there. There's nothing... To me, it's kind of crazy. And I will tell you the one thing that has gotten me several times, I've chased ink clogs, is the manifold. Getting ink through the manifold. Sometimes it just gets stuck in the print head manifold. It won't go through it. And people don't take them apart. I have one. I think I have one here. Let me look. I want to say I've got one that I can put on here and show you what I'm talking about. I did clean this room, so maybe not.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Once I had to take that head out, because that's the only thing I can say with DTF. You might have to take that head out because it'll start scratching because it's a film. And on paper, the ink, it'll just, it'll dry up. You know what I'm saying? In the paper as soon as it's printing.
Yeah, I don't have one here. I cleaned this place, but I did clean it. But I was just curious. So the part where your dampers go into separates from the print head. That's the manifold, and it's different for different printers, but it does come off. It's like 3 screws. Now sometimes you can't get ink through that thing. So the ink is your whole system is pressurizing, and you're not getting ink through the head because it's getting stuck in the manifold. And that is a point of clogging where you can have it. I mean, the hole is of decent size. You can usually blow it out. You can syringe it out, or I used to, at my shop, I just had an air blower. I just blow that sucker out, make sure ink comes through it. But I did find that, because chasing an ink clog in these things can be a freaking headache, man. You're like, everyone's
video you made.
Like, blow my head off, man, chasing that thing. I'm like, is it coming through here? And sometimes you're just in such a hurry and you get flustered and you don't really stop to think it through and go, well, what's the real problem? Am I getting ink through the cartridge, through the line, through the damper, through the manifold, into the head, and out of the head? Because I was legit, the other day, I was legit printing. I had like 10 shirts to print. They were simple royal blue and red graphic. That's it on white shirts. It's so easy. And I'm printing like a champ. And then one of them just drops the red and it's yellow. And I'm like, like right in the middle of print. And it's got plenty of ink in the cartridge. So what stopped it? It's obviously not a print head clog, because that does make no sense, especially on a color, something other than white. They just don't clog. So it ended up there was something in there. Something sucked through that cartridge or stopped it, and it just wouldn't allow print ink to flow. So you got to chase them down. But I think to myself, like on a 3800, like a full size machine, like, man, I mean, I've taken them apart enough. I could probably get to it pretty easy, especially if you took the whole top shroud off. But that R2400, bump that, man. That it's tight. It's hard to get your hands up in there. And the other thing that I like to do,
2400?
Yeah, the 2400. It's harder to get up in them.
Oh no.
But
I ain't never fooled with 2400.
Well, just because of the way the print head and damper setup is, it's not as user friendly as the 3800 to get into. Now on the FreeJet, it is, because it's the skeleton of an R2400 that's in it. But the actual R2400 printer is a lot tighter, If you can get off the whole top cover, you're in better shape. Obviously, if you can take that off of them, you can service them better. But one thing that I like to do that's going to be a lot more difficult on a DTF printer is I like to undock my print head, slide it over, put cleaning solution on a paper towel, and soak the head, and just put I can literally just dab the head with it, hit it up there for 5 seconds, pull it down, and you'll see right on there, because it's not smeared or anything, you'll see all the colors that are coming through the print head. You'll see the lines of them. So I go, okay, well, it's not coming. I'll just keep dabbing it and see if I get all the colors, and then run a print head clean after that. Because, they say, oh, don't touch the head. Whatever you do, don't touch it. Never touch the print head. The bottom of the print head, never touch the print head. And my brain is like, something touches the print head. What touches it? What touches? Well, that little wiper blade touches it. Okay, well, why can't I touch it? Why can't I squeegee it off? Well, you might scratch it. Well, let me tell you something. You can scratch. There's only those little lines of holes are all that matter. The rest of it don't matter. So I have taken little sponges and I've cleaned it. I've cleaned it with paper towels. I've cleaned it with all kinds of shit. It's fine. You can soak it, reverse head flush them, all that fun stuff, man. I put them through the ringer.
What you think the best way to get a clog out of a printer?
So if you're talking about a water-based ink like DTF inks or DTG inks, which are all water-based, my success rate has been to take a solution that best dissolves it, whether it's an alcohol-based solution or an acetone-based solution, and warm it up, put it in a little tray. I usually use Tupperware, a little small Tupperware container, because it doesn't use a lot of liquid and it holds could sit in there. I'd set it in it and I would reverse flush it. So I'd put a little nipple on it and I'd suck the ink out. Use a syringe with a little hose and you suck it out. Reverse flush.
I heard that was kind of, they say that's got to be real delicate with that.
That is not nearly as delicate as pushing it, because where you blow out the print head is, man, give me 1 second. I'm going to go I know I have a print head out there somewhere. Hold on. This will be easier if I can show everybody.
Yeah, man. How y'all doing tonight? Appreciate y'all coming in, rocking with the big boy. You finna see this head. This gonna be real education, because I ain't gonna lie, I sure be hollering at the man when I be needing some knowledge when it comes to these printers, especially 3880. Yes. How y'all doing? Appreciate everybody. Y'all know I love y'all. Appreciate y'all coming in here rocking with your boy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got a video dropping. Got a video. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Appreciate my boy having me on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit that subscribe button, that like button. You know what I'm saying?
All right. We're going to learn you something right now. So, right here, this is a 3800, 3880 print head, right?
That's it.
All right. So, when I talk about the manifold is this plastic piece right here where all your dampers go in. 3 screws on the bottom of the head. You can take them out. We're going to do it right now and show you what we've got inside of here. For people that get really frustrated or are really nervous, you don't have to be nervous to take it apart. It's to take this apart. It doesn't affect anything. Super simple to put back together. There's usually going to be like a little metal piece around here. This one doesn't have it on there, but that's fine. It's just it kind of supposed to help you prevent from getting head strikes. Right? So we go like this.
Oh.
Pop! Right? So now people are like, uh-oh, you broke it. No, it's fine. Perfectly fine. This right here is the print head. This is the manifold. So when I say that ink doesn't go through it, right, it has to flow through these holes, come out these holes. It can get clogged in there. It can absolutely get clogged in there to where the point you're not getting it out. It depends on how long it's sitting, because ink is just sitting in it, just like it's sitting in your ink lines, everything else. So it is a point of contact, and you can just take a syringe with a little hose. You can put it on a little nipple here and just blow it through. You're not going to damage this guy. This guy's going to be fine. So the next thing, if you want to put it back together, there's a little gasket on it. As you can see.
Is that like a fishing line hose?
Yeah, like an airline, like a fish tank airline hose. Sure, that makes a little clear line, fits right over it, fits right over those little guys right there. I've got one of those in the back. It comes in like if you buy any of those cleaning kits, it'll come with them a syringe and like a little 4-way doodad.
I got a 4900. I got a 4900. I got to work on my partner. He got a 4900. He want to turn into a DTF printer. He got 4 good lines, but he need 2 more lines to get it working right. So we're gonna try that. We're gonna try that.
So if you're going to put it back together, there is a gasket right there. It's a little rubber gasket. It does just pop off, right? You're not going to break it. It's going to be okay. It goes. You can see right through it because green screen. That's funny, but it only goes on one way. So if you look here, and actually the green screen might be beneficial, you can see those 4 rows, right? And you see those little dots, those little holes in it. I'm trying to line it up here so you can see it. Right, that's where the ink's going through. It's going through right here.
Yeah.
Right, these other like dips. That's just where the electrical connections go in. Nothing goes through that. So then the bottom plate here, that's got a little bit of adhesive that holds it on. That's all that holds this thing on. And what happens when you do an actual waterfall is you're forcing fluid through the head into some chambers that are in here. And what happens is you push too much and it blows the glue seal off of this little plate. And now you have your ink or your fluid, your cleaning solution going from one channel into the other channel. So you'll often see people on the forums that'll go, oh, I was doing a waterfall and I was trying to clean it. And now I'm pushing it through the white and it's coming out the blue. They're pushing it in one of these nipples, it's coming out the other one, because what's happened is that you have blown the seal that was on this little plate that's right here, and so now the fluid's literally just going throughout the entire bottom of the print head, and there is some electrical components in the bottom of that, in between there. So that's what ends up murdering your print head. And they go, well, it doesn't print anymore. Well, yeah, because there's no pressure. Right? So these printers require a certain amount of pressure that it goes through there to force it out these little holes. And once you break the seal, now there's no pressure, and most of the time it just doesn't print, or it's going to see it dribble out, and it's not going to work very well. So waterfalling it bad. Reverse flushing it, you're literally sitting this thing in fluid, maybe up to a 1/16 inch up there. Right? Just let it sit in fluid. Put the hose on it and pull it out, right? So you're basically sucking fluid through these little lines, these little holes, out the other way. And you can do that until it's clean, in which case the chamber for that one ink line is now clean.
So like, you should work on printers.
Bro, let me tell you something. I have tore these things to pieces. Because I'm an inquisitive person, and I like to know how it works, especially if it's broken, why I cannot fix it. So I will tear it apart, and I will do whatever research it takes to figure it out. And that way I avoid that problem. Because when I first had a clog, like, oh, you just waterfall. It's super simple. Just push water through it and it comes out. And then you've got this thing. I'm like, that looks awesome. Then I put it back in my printer. I turn the friggin' FreeJet on and it goes, psst, and nothing happens. It doesn't turn on. There's no power. I'm like, what happened? Well, if there's any moisture at all right in that freaking cable right there or anywhere it's not supposed to be, it will straight up destroy your motherboard instantly. There was no warning sign. There is no maybe it doesn't work. It does not work anymore. It burns it up immediately. So I learned that the hard way, and it's devastating because you feel so good. I mean, this thing be waterfalling like a champ. You're like, that could shoot freaking water across my backyard in that sucker. But let me tell you what it won't do. It won't print a damn thing. So I learned that the hard way. Reverse flushing it is much safer because you're not pushing that gasket out. You're pulling it backwards. And therefore, you've got a better chance. And if you heat the liquid up a little bit, look, I've heard people like, oh, you can't heat it. The ink's not going to like. Find me one thing that doesn't like to be hot when it dissolves some shit. everything.
Oh.
Water gets hot and it dissolves stuff. That's what it does. So if you heat it up, microwave your solution, let it sit in it for a minute, and then just start pulling the ink out. And I've used them individually. I've also got a little gang set up there where I'll put 8 lines on it and stuck all 8 at once. And my thought process was, if you're pushing fluid through one channel, if you're trying to waterfall it and you're pushing fluid through one channel at a time, it's going to go to the path of least resistance. So if it can't come out these little holes, it's going to find somewhere else to go. If you're pushing all 8 at the same time, the resistance is going to be spread across the entire head, less chance that you're going to blow out the gasket or the seal there. It's not really even a gasket, it's just sealed to it. But still, after burning up a good bit of heads, I just decided that waterfalling it is not the best solution, and that reverse flushing it is the best way to go. I'm not a big fan of putting cleaner in the carts and flushing the carts because it just uses so much time, fluid, ink, giant waste.
Yeah, I don't do all that. Well, see, like I say, so you already know. We've talked a million times. There is no way I would. This is probably why I don't shake my inks, because there is no way I'm taking my cartridges out of my 3880, because I have a hard time getting those things to read. I probably got 10 cents of 3880 cartridges in my house, playing switcheroo, trying to get them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but yeah, there is no way. But it seems like you got a collar with fixing these printers, man.
I don't know about fixing them. I take them apart, like I said, put them back together. I mean, look, I can gank. I bet I could gank a motherboard, a print head, the entire cable assembly out of a 3800 in 6 minutes.
I know. I see you.
I will tear that. Yeah.
I
don't ever think about putting it back together. Not for the second. I'm like, sometimes I remember I took the R2400 completely apart because I took the entire gantry out of it and put it into my FreeJet because I was having an issue with it reading the encoder strip, and they're like, well, maybe it's just the sensor that reads the encoder strip. Well, brother, let me tell you something. You are not getting that out of that printhead carriage. That printhead carriage is not coming out of that printer ever. And I pulled it out of a 3800. I pulled the printhead carriage itself. I've replaced it on mine because I was getting a PW error, which paper width error. That is at the bottom of your printhead carriage assembly. And fun fact, you don't need it. You can just unplug it and the printer does not care. It's like, that's fine. Don't need that. You don't care how wide the paper is? I don't care how wide it is. Send it. So I just unplugged it and the error went away. But before I did that, I changed the whole damn carriage assembly out. And on the FreeJet, I ended up gutting and taking the entire inner guts out of the FreeJet, which is not, they do modify it a little bit to fit inside of there. So I ended up cutting some shit off of it. But I put it in there and it still didn't solve my problem. So I just have a dead FreeJet still I need 3 boards for. But putting them back together is another story. And if you didn't like getting the capping station out of a 3880 is kind of a chore. There's a bunch of little mechanisms in there that are the plastic pieces that are kind of hard to get to, but you could do it. I mean, it's not the end of the world. People obviously fix them and service them. It's not the end of the world. If you had to replace printhead cables, hard pass.
Well,
And things are, man, they just fish. They're just so tight. They go one place. They only go in there one way. They're just long enough to be able to plug them in. Like, it's for the birds, man. I try not to mess with that. But
so like, let me ask you a question. Can you make transfers?
Can I make them, like print them? Yeah. I'm printing them on my 3880 on my DTG printer.
Okay.
So that's where I'm printing them. Yep, we're losing you a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go. All right. I think we had a little bit of a buffer. I was printing them on my FreeJet when it was working. I was laying them on the Platin, and the thing about printing them on the FreeJet is it doesn't do single pass prints. So you had to print color and then back it with white, which I did not mind. So here's a huge benefit if you have a DTG printer versus just a regular DTF printer. I can take a 13 by 19 sheet and I can just print a little square of it at a time. I don't have to print the whole sheet. I can just take a little piece and print it. Where you have to feed the whole 13 by 19 through that sucker. and print the whole sheet at one time. And if it messes up, you kill the whole sheet. Where I'll just cut it off. I'll print a little 5x5s and then just cut the sheet smaller and stick it on my platen and just print another piece. So the DTG guys kind of, in a way, have a leg up on printing little pieces, salvaging some of the pieces that are out there. Where we don't have a leg up on is guys printing off that roll. That long roll hitter. You know, I saw a dude out there print like 40 feet of freaking DTF transfers in his living room. Like, bro, I can't do that. It's going to take me a minute.
I give a shout out to my boy DTs and things. He does all my transfers for me. He got a 9800, and you know I'm jealous. So because I got a 9800, you know what I'm saying. And so tomorrow I think I'm just gonna convert it over. Now I don't do no printing. I think all the printing I do for is baby. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or my kids. You know what I'm saying? But I'm backed up on that. I can't even.
Dude, I got my son designing t-shirts, man. He's 13 and I taught him Photoshop when he was like 8 years old. So he has been in Photoshop, and he's got his own little YouTube channel, and he streams and he edits his own videos. And I mean, look, he's a smart kid. And I was like, man, I teach you how to print t-shirts and you design them. So believe me, buddy, he's sending me designs and he's over here wanting to print. I'm like, dude, t-shirts aren't free, kid. You know, it's freaking $3 a pop, baby. Let's go. You know, you're gonna have to wash some dishes. He's trying. He sold a couple of his designs. He's following this rapper on TikTok. His name is Lil Darky. He's apparently trending on TikTok, and so he's made a bunch of Lil Darky t-shirts. Apparently, he's some like political, controversial style. I don't know, rapper. I listened to a couple of his songs, and I was like, it's interesting. But, you know, the artwork's kind of cool. It's cartoonish and stuff. And so he's been making a bunch of shirts based around this guy and putting them out there. He's designed some Halloween shirts and stuff. So he's enjoying it. You know, it's something that he can get into. And honestly, I like the fact that with doing DTF or DTG, if you print them yourself, you don't have to have any inventory. That's the best part of doing this, period. You can have blanks, and you don't have to print it until it sells. That's why I have 230 Etsy listings. You know, I just printed it. I get an order in. I just load the shirt up and send it. So
yeah, I was telling people with the DTF, like, if you want 5 shirts, look, just call me 2 hours before. You know what I'm saying? You want to pick up your shirt, you know what I mean? Like, I have, like, before I was a big boy, I had another, I had to rebrand. I had a VNR Customs, and I used to do shirts for a few, very, very few people. And a lot of them people don't know the big boy, you know what I'm saying? They still think I'm just, you know, so they don't know about the YouTube and all that. So, you know, I still try to do them. It's like very few people, like 2 or 3, and they know I ain't doing nothing, no hearing. So, but I mean, just that DTF is just I can't see. Man, it's just
I have my reservations with it still. So when you print DTG on black garments, and you're printing like a lot of dessert, like even like a shirt that I'm wearing right now, right? My Welcome to Nightmerica shirt. And you have these nice, they look fire, right? And
I like that.
When you have these gradual fades to black, DTG reigns supreme on those fades. Even I can send through, and I'm using White Rip on the 3880 and Cathari on the FreeJet, and I can send it on a black environment, the same design to a black t-shirt, which does not print any black ink, and it fades it off flawlessly. I can send it straight to the t-shirt, it prints amazing. I can do the same settings on DTF, and when I press it, the fade is definitely not the same. The fade is very noticeable. And I don't know how to curtail that. Everyone says half tone the edges, but that's really changing the design. It's not the same design. So if I could get the fade to come out pristine, and I think it just has a lot to do with the powder, size of the powder, maybe, to get that to work better. I would be much happier with the results there. And I've done some tests, and they've been okay. It's definitely not the same as black DTG, period. It's just not. Now, every other aspect of it is great. I actually think it works better on white garments than DTG printing. I think that the color stays more vibrant after washing it, for sure. I like it better on white garments. And I've done some colored garments, like we did my son's hoodie. It was tan with this big full color image on it, and it worked out pretty well. Fun story. He designed this cool angry looking mushroom thing. We printed, I DTG'd it, and it looked freaking great. And he washed it, and it damn near came off. He ended up scraping the design off the damn hoodie, and I was like, fuck. So I printed the exact same size, everything on DTF, and put it on there, and it's still holding up. So there's a catch-22. There's a give and take, and I think that DTF has a big place in the market, especially, dude, white designs, white on black. I will say I tend to DTF those now over printing them straight on the shirt. They just seem to come out more brighter, more vibrant than the DTG, and the color feels better. It doesn't use as much ink. And
and the price point. The price point is what I look at, to be able to press on a shirt, without using the easy subly. And then I think even the price point. How much does it cost to make a DTG shirt, like the ink,
So on the free jet, everything was already calculated into Cathari, and you can do that in White Rip, and I think even Acro, you can put like the cost of your inks, and it will give you a cost basis per print. Generally speaking, a black shirt with like a full color shirt like this would probably run me around $1.80 in ink to print, is what it would generally calculate, because of the large amount of white ink used in printing it, to lay down that white layer. If you're printing a colored or a white t-shirt with just color only, you're probably in the 30 to 40 cent range on some of them. It's not very expensive. But there's a time continuum too. And in life, time is the most valuable asset we have, period. And I say this for anyone out there who listens to this, who works a regular job, who goes to work and gets paid $15 an hour or something. When I get out of the motorcycle industry next week, and I'm working from home, and I'm printing shirts, I'm doing YouTube, and I'm losing my ass in stocks full time. My mother, she goes, well, you can always just, get a part-time job. You have a lot of skills. And I said, I cannot imagine a life where I sell an hour of my life for $15 pre-tax. Like, you're selling your life. It's not just your time. It is your life for pennies, fractions of a penny for what you live. So you can get out there and you can make it happen. You can make one t-shirt. I was like, I can print one t-shirt and sell it for $25. Why would I want to go to and give someone an hour of my life doing something I do not want to do to make less than that? I can print a t-shirt in 7 minutes. Why would I want to do that? So, and not everyone has that mentality. Some people are like, well, you get a job, you make good money, you get benefits, you get all that. I mean, which is great. It's just not me. It's not the entrepreneur life that I live. But, looking at it that way, and I think the DTF, I get off topic, this happens to me a lot, but I think the DTF realm has a good profit margin in it. And I think for people who want to start a brand, it's a great way that they can stockpile some inventory that doesn't cost them a ton of money out the gate. I get people that ask me this, oh, how much for 100 shirts? My question is, do you need 100 shirts? And that's, honest to God, as an entrepreneur, it's the wrong question to ask.
Yeah.
Right? You should be like, well, why don't you need 500 shirts? My problem with that is the same as it has been through the other industries that I've been in as an entrepreneur, which is, do you want that person to leave your shop or your store or open a box of 100 shirts that they only needed 15, but they felt like they had to buy 100, and now they regret buying 100 shirts because they're sitting on them and they can't sell them, and they didn't do as well as they thought they would. So they spent money they didn't have to buy product they didn't need, hoping they're going to sell it. Why don't we sell them? And a lot of times the answer is, well, I don't need 100. I need like 25. Cool. Let's do 25. And when you need more, I'll print you however many more you need. I want that person to walk away going, you know what? that made more sense. And I'm going to call him back because he was upfront with me. And I didn't waste all my money. And maybe, dude, I've had guys order t-shirts that didn't sell them. They're like, no, it was just a flop. The design just didn't work out. Cool. Well, I'm glad you didn't spend $1,000 on shit you can't sell. Now you're giving them away for free. So I like the world of DTG where if you had a customer who needed 100 shirts, they could buy 100 transfers from you. Well, hell, if you're selling at $10 a pop, that's still $1,000. But they could buy it's up there. Let's put it this way: if you were print your own transfers at $2 a pop or whatever, $2.50, it's a lot less inventory, risk to put out there. So, and it's super helpful to have it for doing chest prints or fun. You know what I'm going to do? And this is, if you're listening to this idea is genius to me, and it could be genius to you. We thought of it the other night because I was out and I was wearing this shirt. I had just designed it and printed it. There was a lyric in Tom McDonald and Dax's new video that was so damn good. Everyone on the internet was like, it needs to be on a t-shirt. He said, we went to bed with the American dream and we woke up to Nightmerica. Best line Tom McDonald's ever spit. And I was like, I need to use Nightmerica on a t-shirt somehow. It's brilliant. And I drew up this design with Joe Biden. It's the ringmaster of this thing. And so I printed it up and I wore it out to dinner with Megan. And we went to this little ice cream shop. And this guy was like, dude, that shirt is awesome. And I was like, yeah, I just designed it and printed it like an hour ago. Like I drew it up and I printed that sucker. And if you want one, I don't have business cards. I just never, once I got away from being a local business and selling stuff to people across the world with motorcycle parts and shirts. I've shipped shirts all over the freaking planet. I don't need a business card. I don't meet people locally that I need to give them a business. I'd have 1,000 of them. They would go to waste. I don't give it to them. Everyone has a cell phone. Every person does, right? My thought was, let's make a QR code. They're free to make that goes to your site, your Etsy page or whatever, or your email. A QR code can send somebody anywhere, right? Let's print them like this big, like a little 1x1 or 1.5x1, and let's press that bad boy right here on the inside of your t-shirt. So no matter where you are, when someone goes, hey, how do I get one? All you got to do is flip up the bottom of your shirt and scan that QR code.
I'll make it part of my logo.
You can make it part of your logo. Megan said to put it for my son to wear him at school, put it on the back of the neck, a little QR code. Because kids at school always have they always have a phone. So yeah, put it in the shirt. You always walk around with your business card printed on your t-shirt. You never forget it. Period. All they got to do is take a picture of it and boom, it sends them right there, right where they need to go. I even thought of this today, honest to God, today, because I put like in all of my Etsy sales, I put like a little thank you card, a little flyer with a discount on it, right? So just print up a little thing that goes in there that just has the QR code on it, and they're going to scan it because they're probably pretty curious, like where does that go? And it just takes you directly to the review page.
Oh, wow.
Look, man, a lot of people don't leave reviews in life. Look, people are quick to be Karens. They're quick to light you on fire when they are slightly unhappy. They hardly ever do they go on there and go, oh, I loved it. That is just, I've got over 1,000, I think 1,300 sales on Etsy, and I probably have 100 reviews out of all those people because you get it and you go, cool, and then you live your life. You don't go, let me go on Etsy and blah, blah, blah. The only app that for sure makes you leave a review is Mercari. If you're not on Mercari, it's like a used buy and sell app. Megan lives on Mercari. She buys so much damn shit off Mercari, it's a real problem. But you have to leave. Yeah, no, she loves it. She loves the shit out of Mercari.
I was just talking about Mercari.
Yeah, bro. She is on Mercari like a bad habit. So I'd be like, get off of there. You have no money. What are you doing? She loves it.
Do they stand behind their stuff?
Yeah, so Mercari, like as a seller on Mercari, when you sell a product, Mercari holds the money in escrow. They have a couple days after they receive it to accept it and say this is what it was, and then they must leave a review. They have to. It will not let them continue with their account without reviewing it. And people, let me tell you, people put some care packages in them things. They'll be gift wrapped. They'll be like freaking elegant fucking boxes. They want that 5-star hitter, man. It's unreal. Some of the boxes she gets, But Mercari's legit. Yeah, it's legit. I've actually bought I bought a printer off Mercari. I bought a $3,800 off Mercari one time. Saw one on there. I was like, give me that bad boy. But she buys a lot of clothes. Good. Yeah, she buys a lot of clothes off of there because it's more stringent than eBay to sell on. That's a fact. So she likes it. But curtailing back to my idea, put the QR code on the shirt. Boom! Every shirt, man. And then people are out because look, people are gonna be wearing it like, oh, where'd you get that? And they be like, Big Boy Prints or T-shirt man lost, or the baby booty. And they be like, and they forget immediately. They all on here. JD's Corner. All of you guys, let me tell you something. As soon as you tell them where you got it, they forgot. Man, look, I don't remember where I put half the shit I do every day. It's so crazy to me. But if it's in every product and you could print a gang sheet of 13 by 19 of small QR codes, bruh, you could print freaking 50 of them on one sheet and it takes no time to press it. So hide it in the shirt. Even put it in the neck tag. It'd be easy to stick right in your neck tag. So you can go, it's right here. And direct people directly where you go. What you got there? What you press that thing on? Is that a soap bottle? What is that? Some lotion?
Now, that's my partner.
What you got?
My partner, she probably heard the Biz Uni. Biz Uni has her own resin. Like I say, man, we're a family.
Resin?
You know what I'm saying? She has her own resin line. She in there.
Okay.
And then the baby's booty. Shout out, I got the official baby's booty. You know what I'm saying? The official's baby booty bell when you subscribe to her channel. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, you get a bell. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's
You gotta be creative. You know what I'm saying? Preach out to baby's booty because she got something for me for like when I get subscribed. Hopefully I'm gonna get monetized. Probably like I think in like 2 weeks, and people subscribe to you know what I'm saying. You have your special lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You do stuff to make the people feel special because like we got a famous saying. Listen, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be right here with us. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I have watched some people blow up on YouTube this year, especially in the stock investment world. I've watched dudes literally watch one stock all day for 9 months and 22 days. One stock. Go nowhere. Do nothing. 99% of the day, it does 0 things that are exciting. And these dudes have 300, 400,000 subscribers. No lie. If you are consistent and you are out there putting out content, people will follow you. They will subscribe to what you're doing. And the best part of YouTube is interacting with the people who come on your channel and talking to them and learning from them. Putting out content that is educational and solving problems. Sometimes we just do not have the answer. And my biggest pet peeve for people looking to solve problems is typing the question into Facebook freaking post and hit send. Stop asking Facebook. Facebook is full of people who do not know the answer to the question you have. Type it in Google, and if Google doesn't know, nobody knows. That's the answer. Get on YouTube. Find someone who does know. Not everybody's on Facebook, but I see so much bad information on Facebook. You can't argue with them. You're like, well, it's too late. They're 7 posts down. It's snowballed into the worst information you've seen.
So I had to get out of those DTF groups because I had learned if they don't know what it is, it's your head. It's a head. It's a head.
You don't got. Jesus Christ. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. Dude.
Oh my God.
You got Game of Thrones. They got Game of Thrones. They marched you out in front of everybody. And they put your head on a block and they were like, Big Boy Prints. Your head flew off and you were gone. And then they rejoiced. They were like, in the comments. It's like, bro, Facebook's on some next level shit with people, man. It brings out the worst in people, honestly. You do see so much information out there. It's just, sometimes I'll read it and I'm just like this. I'm just like, all right. I just got to get the fuck out of here. I'm like, y'all on your own. Nah, not today. Not getting me in that one. Man. So I really just read them and I don't really comment much on Facebook. Sometimes I will. I'll be like, all right, well, this is clearly some really bad information. Really rough. Like, okay. Let's nip that in the bud right now. But I do see in the DTF game especially, I think the biggest hurdle is education because there's not enough look, there's no tech support. Epson is not helping you. I promise you. If you have a 3800 or a 2400 or an 1800 or a 1430 or whatever the printer you've got, and it doesn't print, don't call Epson. They cannot help you. They're like, you're like error 1410. They're like, never heard of it. It's on the printer. Yeah, that's new to me. Like, what?
Never heard of that one.
In the service
Never heard
manual.
of that one.
It's in the service manual. Like, I don't have that page. You're like, what's happening?
Yeah, there you go.
I've called Epson twice with errors, and they're like, I'm like, dude, okay. What? They're like, what kind of printer do you have? I'm like, well, I have a DG. Never mind.
Yeah.
So there's no support. So I think there's a big hole in the DTF world. And I think that is also part of the DTG realm is that the companies that are producing these, the Ricoh, the FreeJet, the whatever the other one is out there, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, even AirRAN, there's no tech support that can really help you. And some of the stuff is so technical that, dude, people aren't going to figure it out anyway. Like, they really are going to have a hard time going, all right, well, I need you to pull the damper out. Well, that terrifies the shit out of them. They're like, I don't want to touch it. You're like, but you have to touch it because no one's coming to help you. There is a guy in the FreeJet world named Dave Wall. He's on the DTG groups. He'll fly out and train you on a FreeJet. That dude does more than on FreeJets than freaking anyone at Omni does. And he's like $1,500 to $2,000 to come out and train you on to use that printer. And you can send him a printer and he'll fix your printer. But there's nobody else out there that does it. And I think people are going to get a bad taste in their mouth. They buy a DTF printer and, it doesn't work. You're like, well, it did work, but I can't get it to print. Okay, well, let's start with the beginning of the sentence. I can't get it to print, right? So let's solve this problem. The problem isn't the printer. The problem is the fact that we don't have training or materials to show you. So making videos, bro, I've watched videos of people doing the dumbest, most mundane crap on the internet. It's like, okay, how do I turn it on? Well, let me tell you. Someone doesn't know. How do I run a simple head clean? How do I hit, it says paper feed. What do? You press the down button. Right?
But listen to me though. I mean, bro, those videos right there, those do the most views. It's the simple ones that you'll be like, hold up. I was talking to my friend, and she was like, there was a video that got like 7,000 views, and it was just taking the vinyl out the plastic. Like,
well, let me tell you, people are terrified. They do not know what to do, and there's no one out there to tell them. So it seems stupid to me, someone like me who's like, instead of like, well, how do you get the damper out? I'm like, what is inside of here? We're going to find out. Like, let's tear it all apart and then hope it works. But there are people out there who would never in a million years even want to take the cover off the printer. Never mind replace a ribbon cable that's bad, or replace an ink line that doesn't work, or figure out how to unclog a damper instead of having to replace it, and be down for days. Like, there's so many things out there that they just don't know how to do. And if there needs to be a dedicated platform where you can go, okay, even videos on how to use the RIP software. People do not understand the settings in the different RIPs and why they're important. I bet you couldn't tell people what a choke is. What's a choke? How many people in the chat know what the choke is in the RIP and what it does? Let's start with that. The baby's booty better know. You got the bell. You better know about choke. It's not in the bedroom. It's in the printer. Let's be completely upfront. People don't understand. Why do I have the white line around my print? Well, what's your choke setting? What's that? All right, let's start from the beginning. Open the software. Okay, close it. Let's learn how to use it first, So people don't understand that. They don't understand the difference between the different environments. I know people ask me, well, do I need the DTF environment for the FreeJet? Fucking for what? What does that do? It does nothing for you. It's nothing for it. Does not help you. What you need to know is why you change your coloring percentages, why you change your underbase percentage. What does it do? Period. How can I just send a single pass print if you have a DTG machine? How do you do that? Why does it print like crap? Why is there black ink when I don't need black ink? Why is there white ink behind my black ink? My biggest hurdle with printing DTF on a single pass is too much white ink behind black ink. If it's a solid black design and there's white ink backing it and I press it, the black is not solid. It grays out a little bit because the white's coming through it. So I print on dark color environment, which does not put any white on solid black.
So, like, one thing I have to say, like you say, it's a lot of information that's not out there. So one thing that
Baby's booty. Hold on. Baby's booty. So the choke is the area of white. You set the choke and it will put the white under the color so it doesn't peek out. So, partially correct. It's almost correct answer. The choke is the amount of pixels that it reduces the underbase in the image so that it doesn't peek out of the color. That's what it is. It's a pixel. So if you have it'd be like in Photoshop, you're reducing the overall size of that layer by 1 pixel or 2 pixels, or if you're in white rip, it's by like millimeters. It'll be like 0.07 millimeters. So it isn't so much that it's reducing it. It's taking that white layer and slightly shrinking it so that it doesn't peek out of the edge. That's what it is. So it was close. You were pretty close. Yes.
Yeah. That's the same thing I was thinking. That's why you don't have that white outline.
She said also that the powder didn't stick to the black without the white. I have not had that issue. I have had no issues with powder sticking to any color without white. When I print white t-shirts, I print only color, no white at all. And I powder it as soon as it comes off the printer. And I don't have any issues. It dries real fast. The powder cures fast as shit. Way faster than white ink. Could probably cure it for 40 seconds under my heat press. And I don't have any issues with it sticking. So if you don't have pixels, so I shouldn't need to set the choke. No, you do need to set the choke. You always set the choke. This is questions right here, big boy, that she's asking. So you always need to set the choke. It just might not be related in pixels. Like acro rip, it is in pixels. In white rip, it is not in pixels. In Cathari, it's not in pixels. It's like a percentage. But yeah, and I've never used black powder. I've only used white medium stretchy powder.
Well, me and the baby's booty, we use CAD link.
Okay, yeah. See, I tried using. I've not been able to get my printer to print with CAD link. I did like the fact that it does halftone it in the rip. That's an option. That's cool. I did like that. So, and I've seen people using CAD link, and the prints look great.
Everything Megatron, everything I done printed came out of Megatron.
Yeah. So white rip has a DTF only version, and the these bastards they will charge you for it. I'm like, I already own white rip. Nah, it's different. Like, it's the same printer. You got to pay for the license. I'm like, get off my life, bro. I paid $1,300 for white rip. $1,300. Came straight from Italy. That's where it came from, and it took a week to get here, and it works. And their tech support was decent. You got to stay up late because they are not on our time zone.
Oh yeah.
You got to be at work at 9:00 at night to talk to them, or 6 a.m. But it worked though. But I wasn't about to pay for that for DTF, man. I'll figure it out.
They sound like China.
Yeah. China's happy to help you at 2 a.m. They're freaking up. And they're getting it.
Yeah, they're ready to go. I just got hit up. My connect like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, man, it's like, you know what time it is? No.
Yeah.
They're very nice, though. They're some nice people, though. They're very nice people.
Oh, yeah, man. They'll sell you about anything, man. They don't care at all. They'll make you any. I used to sell LED light strips for motorcycles, and I'd be like, hey, I'm looking for something like this. And that dude would be like, I'll be back in 10 minutes. And that dude would run down the street, and there was just freaking plants all down the street that made shit, and he'd come back with like 7 quotes. He's like, we can make that. We'll make it. They literally, dude, in that one city, they make everything. Like they don't. When it comes to patents, they don't. They're like, we don't spell that word here. Like you want that? You got that, boy. We'll take the name right off of that and send it. They don't give a shit. They're real shady out there. But yeah, getting back on topic here. Rips make a difference, and the content. I think what I was wrapping that whole segment up is that people's fear is always using the printer. At the end of the day, these things are just printers. They're not. They're no different. The only thing you've done different is allowed them to print a different ink out of a cartridge that it does not want. If you can tell it that it wants this cartridge and you put the ink in it, the real question comes down to is just making sure that what you put in it doesn't clog it up from sitting there. And people don't print with them and they don't maintain them. And if you weren't going to use if you knew you weren't going to use that 3880 for a month, like I'm just not doing this, it's not difficult to take the head out. I see your face, boy. I see you, guilty ass over there. Take the head out, pull the ink out of the head, flush the lines, take the cartridges out that shit, like just dry it up. I mean, just pull it all out so there's nothing sitting in it. Yeah,
I got 3880s and 3800s been sitting up 6 months just on the shelf looking pretty.
That's fine if they have the original ink in them. They don't have that damn white DTF ink in them. See, you got cement in them motherfuckers right there. There's a Jimmy Hoffa up in that printer. They got some lead feet.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to try to take one to the shop tomorrow and see what they do. I spent a lot of money with Epson. I spent a lot of money.
Not me, man. I ain't got time for that. That's more important to me. I'll take it apart. I'll figure it out. I bought probably a dozen 3800s and all between the Omni and this one, I bought probably a dozen of them. And I've only had, actually, I wouldn't say I've had any of them where I couldn't get the print head to print full bore off the jump.
Yeah, I mean, those heads are immaculate. I mean, they work horses. You know what I'm saying? I need to definitely check into that thing. So when you take it out, you just keep your original one. You just replace like the heads and stuff like that.
If I'm, I would pull the head out. I would gut them. So when I buy them, because I'm not using it as the printer it is, I'm putting it into the air rend machine. So I would gut out everything that's important to me, which is print head cables, the main board. I don't need the power boards. I've never had to replace a power board in them, but I pull out the dampers, the ink line assembly, the wet capping station, basically all of the general maintenance parts. Because I would look on there when my wet cap station went bad on the FreeJet, that will kill your print head. If that wet cap station is not functioning correctly, it will murder your print head because it's not pulling ink out of it, and therefore it's just clogging it up. And when my FreeJet originally went down, it got stuck with the print head undocked. I did not know how to redock the print head manually. They did not tell me. There's no video on how to do it, so it just sat there. And when they get back to me a week later, they're like, "Oh, well, let me see the machine." I'm like, "Oh, here it is." They're like, "Well, the print head's not docked." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I mean, it turned off right here, and I can't. What do you want me to do? It doesn't turn back on." "Oh, well, that's not good." I'm like, "What? Probably killed my print." So you're telling, and this is a huge problem. No lie, across the Omni boards is their technicians are so slow to get back to you that they kill print heads because people do not know that they can A, take the print head out, and B, wet cap it without the printer being on. They have no idea. So they just kill the print head sitting there dry, open, because the printer don't turn on anymore. And murder them time and time again. So it's just really a lack of knowledge that people are gonna have a bad taste in their mouth with owning these machines. And if we can put the knowledge out there to where you go, it's really not that scary, right? The problems are not that complex. Now the parts, if you start looking up some parts, bro, they're outrageous. Like, dude, the print head in that R2400 for the Free is like $1,400. There's no other alternative.
So this is what I was going to ask you. Wouldn't it be cheaper to buy these printers at what you buy them at and just sell the parts?
Yep.
I mean,
a 1,000% profit in pieces.
Yeah, they're thousands. Like, that's what I tell people. Even if your printer ain't good, I mean, like if something happened, you can break that printer down and make way more money. That's why I was like, in all those 3880s, I know a lot of people are going to want those because those are 17 inches. I bet I can make a killing with them.
Yeah, so like with the FreeJet specifically, the main board, the board that comes out of the R2400, the main motherboard, is they charge $1,000 for it, just for the main board. They charge $1,400 for the print head, $250 for the capping station, What else is in there that's pretty expensive? I mean, the ribbon cable is like 50 or $60. So you could buy a used Epson R2400 for $200 to $400 and get everything you need out of it to fix the free jet. And you're like, well, why would I ever pay that much? Now, granted, you do take a risk not buying a brand new print head and the fact that it might have an issue, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to be okay once you get that original ink out of it, because the solvent-based ink just breaks down. It doesn't clog like the DTG ink does. You know, you can break it down, you can flush it through it with some light acetone, water, alcohol-based solution, blow it right out.
And see, that's another thing that I would say that's another thing too, that you can, a lot of these print heads, you can get, this print head was in this printer and this print head in this printer. You can take a print head out of this one that might not be as expensive and put it in this expensive one because it's the same print head. And you have that printer working.
Yes, so people also don't realize that a lot of the print heads are the same for certain printers. Like specifically, like my knowledge is mostly contained around the R2400s and the 3800 series Epsons. For like in the FreeJet, you can pull the print head out of an R2400, R2880, L1800, R1800. It's all a DX7 print head. And in the 3800s, it's all a DX5 print head. So as long as you have that same series, and they'll go, oh, it's not unlocked. It doesn't need to be unlocked. It doesn't care. It's no idea. It's a freaking print head. It does not know. So it goes in there and it will be fine. So yeah, there are ones out there. It doesn't have to be the exact same model. It just has to be the same print head. And they used them across the board on several different models.
So let me ask you a question. You have Acro Rip, right?
I have used Acro Rip. I do not currently use Acro Rip though.
Oh, so how do you like White Rip?
I like it a lot. The selling points for me. Hold on one second. Let me respond to this guy. So on his way up here. The selling point for me, this was the deal breaker on rips. So when I bought the AirRen, it came with Acro Rip, and it was like, as far as I could tell, legit one. It had a dongle and everything. Is printing on black. The knockout black feature was the most important feature to me, because a lot of my designs, like this one, have a black background in the file. And for me to remove the black background, it alters the image. It's not the same, right? Anytime you print black ink on a black shirt, you see the black ink. It's there. There's no getting around it. It's not the same color as the shirt. So I wanted a rip that would print and have different environments in it, like Cathari did. Because when I came from the FreeJet, which had black photo environment, dark color, light color, and white environment, which in the RIP software removes active colors. Like on a black environment, it prints no black ink. Anything that's black is treated as transparent. Same goes for white. So Acro Rip didn't do that very well. Its knockout black to me was garbage compared to Cathari. It wasn't even in the same class as Cathari. Print the same image on both rips, night and day difference. Cathari was way better. And from my understanding is Cathari is the industry standard for printing, period. Whether it's signs or garments or whatever you're printing, UV printers, it's the go-to. It's just rebranded for Omni. So I went through EK Rip, which I had mixed issues on EK Rip. I didn't love it. It was okay. It was my first experience in printing single pass prints, which was cool. And then White Rip, I really liked the user interface of White Rip, and the environments worked really well. And the print side by side, White Rip did the closest job to Cathari. The only reason I didn't go with Cathari with the 3880 is because they would not send me a free trial to use with the 3880. I could not use the product with that printer prior to buying it. And it was also like $1,000 or something for the 3800. Yeah, it's expensive. Cathari's up there, man. And now White Rip's not, I paid $1,300. It's not that much it depends on what printer you have. It's a different price for different printers. I don't know why. Don't ask me, man. But I know some of them were like $600 or $700. And so you've got CADLink now, which is basically Acro Rip 10, if I'm not mistaken. And
what?
Isn't it? Isn't CADLink Acro Rip 10? Or the advanced Acro Rip? thought that's what it was branded as. I could be wrong.
No, we
So,
are Cadley. I don't know how long Acro been around, but we've been around a long time. We got DTG and all types of
okay.
stuff.
All right. Well, that was my mistake. I would have swore that it was like the successor to it, because I know AcroRip 10 came out in like February, and then CADLink was at the same time this new CADLink version
Nah, we was
popped up.
before them. We was close.
Mm.
We like iPhone, and they like what you call it, Android.
So, as someone who runs a Samsung S21, I take high offense to this, and I understand why your customers are having so many issues on Facebook forums. Come over to my life. Listen, I bought puts on Apple on Monday, and I am not feeling good right now. They are burning. Apple stock's on the rise. I can't have that. I need Apple. I need Apple to rot a little bit for the next 24 to 48 hours. So I'm going to lose a lot of money. But I don't know. I would like to use CADLink. I would like to try it and get it to work with the DTG printer. It just, for some reason, it's not communicating the same. It doesn't understand that it doesn't need paper. I messed with it for a bit. I do not remember what he sent me, to be honest with you. I don't remember. I tried it a couple times, and I was like, every time I went to print, it would give me this error, like load paper or paper not present. I don't remember what exactly. It was a paper related, or maybe paper jam error, and I had to turn the machine off and turn it back on every time. And I'm like, this is taking all. Dude, I had so many issues starting off, even with the freaking FreeJet, where I would go in, I need to print 2 t-shirts. It would take me 4 hours to print 2 t-shirts. Because you'd fire it up, be some stupid error, turn it off, turn it back on, wait, unplug it, plug it back in, run a head clean, then it has another error, you turn it back off. I'm like, I'm spending all day turning this stupid thing on and off. Just to print 2 damn t-shirts. So now I'm to the point where I don't really have those issues with the 3880. I'm pretty confident that I can come down, turn it on. I usually run one head clean and then send it. Sometimes if I'm feeling like maybe it's a Monday, and Mondays kind of, you know how Mondays be, and I'm like, I'm gonna send it like just white ink only first, in case I gotta resend it. You know, I don't burn the shirt. Yeah, sometimes it'll print like half the white, and you're like, meh. And then half the design's like somewhat white, and then the other half is really white, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I'll send white ink only, and then if it looks good, then we're good to go.
Yeah, I remember like. Sometimes I just shake my ink, and in the beginning, you gotta do that head clean. I wouldn't do that head clean. It'll come out real clear. It'll get thicker and thicker and thicker. And be like, oh yeah, I forgot to do that head clean.
Right, and that's a real problem if you just run a DTF machine. You just burning film, man. Every time you print it, you're like, fuck, there's a buck. You know, you're like, damn it. It's a dollar bill, gone, throw it away, dollar bill every time. So I try to avoid that. With shirts, man, sometimes all the shirts that are messed up for me are user error, like every time.
Yeah. Like
I didn't check the setting. The shirt wasn't tucked all the way under the platen. It was raised up a little bit, and I got a head strike or something, or it just, it's just the minute details. I didn't recheck the rip setting before I sent it, and it was color white instead of white color or something, and you're like, damn it. And then there goes $3. Burn the shirt, $3 bill. I got a big stack of shirts, buddy, over the last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
My Megatron right now, she ain't been up in about a week. I'm gonna go and get her up tomorrow. She been scratching real bad, head strikes real bad. And I think I took the head off, cleaned it, there wasn't nothing on the head. I think I put one of my screws in a little too hard. So it's kind of like leaning, scratching down on it. So I'm going to try to work on that tomorrow. I got so much stuff. It's so busy, man. But that's why I think I want to go straight to the 4800 or 4900 or my 9800, because I don't have to worry about none of that and all that. No wheels or nothing scratching, because on those, you just do a head clean and you just print.
Right. Yeah. I get it, man. I do. Printer life is there are some days where you're just like, screw this whole stupid printer, man. Throw it out the window. I've got so many damn spare parts out there. I'm like, I got one of those. I'll figure it out. I've taken them apart enough. I got a box full of freaking everything back there. I'm like, I gotta have something to fix this stupid thing. But that's it, man. We can wrap it up. We've been at about an hour and a half, and I'm losing my voice. So it was good to chat with you about it, and we'll have to do it again, and we'll get some feedback and some questions that maybe I can help answer, because I am super technical when it comes to a lot of this stuff, and I can probably help some people out with some common questions with that as well. So, and I appreciate you coming on. Yeah. And people need to hit up Big Boy Ink, and they need to get him some inks. And if you're selling the film and the powder, whatever else you're over there slanging, go get them, man. The link's in the description to the video, straight to your Etsy page. I hooked you up with some better pictures for that Etsy page. I was like, this dude got ink and body bags. Bro, you got ink and body. It was suffocating. It was like, I can't breathe.
We killing them.
Nobody puts Big Boy in a bag. Come on now. Get that boy out the bag. Let him out the bag. Can't breathe. Let him out. He ain't clogged up. He's suffocated. So we got you some better pictures up in there.
Hey, man, I sure do appreciate you having me on, man. We're going to definitely have to get you on the Big Boy, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And see if you can handle the hot seat.
Man, if there's anything I can do, it's handle a hot seat, buddy. They always tell me, after my 2 months in the stock market, in the stock market they call you diamond hands when you just hold it forever, nothing will break you. I said I got Deadpool hands. I'm motherfucking burnt up. But holding it, it's just on fire. I'm like, dope. My hands I look like Deadpool coming out of the stock market. I'm like, this is not good.
Deadpool, man.
I do too.
One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, he's great.
I can watch. That's one movie I can watch. It don't matter. I can't say that for a lot, but Deadpool, I can watch Deadpool. It is stupidly funny.
It is. You go watch Free Guy. Free Guy was great.
Free Guy?
Free Guy. Fucking great movie. It just came out. Ryan Reynolds. He's like he's a background character in a video game that everyone's playing, and then he just decides he's gonna change the script, and he sees a girl and he's like, I need to talk to her, and she's a player in the game. So then he's like this I forget what they call it. It's a NPC, non-playable character. And it is freaking great. The movie is hilarious. He does an awesome job. It is probably one of the best movies I've seen in years. It's a great
I'm
movie.
gonna go check that out.
You'd watch it over and over again. It's freaking amazing. The whole thing's amazing. But there you go.
Man, y'all go check out the baby's booty and the big unit. You know what I'm saying? Much love, man. Appreciate you. Want to say shout out to everybody who came out to holler at the Big Boy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, that like button. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know how we do it. Show that love, man. Y'all already know. Tomorrow we're going to have somebody in the hot seat. Unbiased LLC, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate my boy, the TMF, man.
There you go. There you go. Check us out, man. And if you look for more content that revolves around any of this stuff, I will be making a lot more. Starting at the end of next week, I'll be here full time. So I'm going to be streaming live pretty much every day, man. I'll be streaming stocks or life. I'm going to do a live stream where I'm going to print t-shirts. I'll probably do it for hours, like one entire day. You can come on there. You'll pick a shirt off the page. I'm going to print that bitch live on YouTube, put it in the mail, and send it right to you. We're going to have fun, man. And we're just going to talk about the business and, everything that's going on. And we're going to share some ideas. Man, feel free to use that QR code idea. I think it is genius. I'm going to do it. Everyone should get on board with that bad boy right there. That's a $1 million idea. QR code in the shirt. Put it in a sleeve. Tuck it right there. Boom. Like they used to roll up them sleeves, put cigarettes in them. Be like, pop. Hit me up. Scan that sucker right there.
If they do it, I'm gonna try to find me a female. Be like, yeah, sure. Where is it at? Where is it?
Oh, listen, you like it's right in the middle. It's in the middle. Just it's right here. This dude, you want some other shit? Jesus Christ! Man, you got your mind right in the center. I swear to you, it's right there. If you pick it up, I take a picture of it, and then it takes me to your website.
Let me scan.
You got your damn mind. You done lost. Big Boy Prints has lost his damn mind. Women, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. There's no QR code in the middle of your shirt. I promise you. It's not where I'm putting it. It's where he's putting it. Don't fall for it. This dude out his damn, lost his damn mind. Listen, that take you to a whole different website. Not YouTube. It's real similar. Same, but different. Lots of content. You are not looking for it. I promise you, man. There are no T-shirts on that website.
You have to put you a Pornhub link on her, man, after that one.
They do nothing but take off your product in that link. Like, hey, nobody wearing T-shirts here. I don't know what you're talking about. Dude, you done lost your damn mind. Jesus Christ. Listen, if you're watching this, you ain't laughing at that. There's something wrong with you. That shit's funny. I don't care who you are. That shit's funny as hell. All right, man. Let's call it a night, man. I appreciate you guys coming on. Everyone who came and watched, I do appreciate your following, joining the show, and I hope they learned something from chatting with us. And I hope everyone's successful. And if they got some ideas and they need some help with something, you can always comment on any of my videos. Yeah, I read them all and I respond to all of them. And we'll help you out. That's what we're here for. So, till next time, big boy. We will see y'all later. Peace out.